Oh, God. I had to visualise that.
But I'm saying that's the only way. That's the only way it would be. Sorry, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Ow. Ow.
Because you're such a. You are a genuine improviser now. So every show, presumably you have frameworks and areas that you kind of know and sort of terrain that you go, okay, I'm here, I can twist it. But you're kind of sort of doing jazz, particularly the way you do it, and it's so brilliant. But so you must be in a permanent state of kind of creativity. Your brain would be interesting to study when you're on stage.
Yeah, I would love to know what happens in my brain when I'm on stage, because afterwards I have a poor memory of it, apart from the bits that made me wince. I remember them perfectly.
Yeah, of course.
But
I had that yesterday. I've had this weird week where I jogged from Marylebone to King's Cross on Monday, and I saw David Gray, the singer, I stopped because I was a huge fan of his when I was a kid, and I sort of said, I think you're fantastic, blah, blah, blah. Had a lovely moment. Yesterday, I jogged again, and I saw David Gray, and I ran past him and went, hello, darling, like that. And then as I was running away, my brain went, why the fuck did you do that? And that's all I took. I had to do two interviews yesterday, and I wasn't there because all I was thinking was, hello, darling. What is it do you think that is what makes you good, that you kind of, because clearly your brain is going, listen, the gig went great, you were fantastic, but we need to discuss those two wince moments. And do you think that's your sort of way of your brain in a painful way getting you better?
I think my brain, it's funny, it's the same as why I'm doing the meditation, and it's the same as why I'm excited about the nucleus of the atom, because I'm trying to get away from my brain a bit. And I think on stage, I have to get away from it. Get away from me. I'm looking at somebody else wearing a mask and thinking, I'm narrating what they would say. So I'm taking a sidestep into something else, another sort of cartoon being, and voicing that. So that's kind of why I'm a little bit hard to remember. It's not like it's hard to remember. It's a little bit like someone else did it.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing for me. It's like, forget myself. It's not really like I'm going. It's very different from what you do. I don't have to own any of it. I just have to be there.
But your brain is working.
But it's diverting.
So hard.
It's deflecting all the time.
You must have spent so long in front of a mirror trying to make your lips not move.
Well, not that.
Really?
Not that long. No, that's too. Oh God, it's boring. I couldn't.
It's not boring. This is like, who the fuck else does that? Who spends ages trying in front of a mirror and just kind of.
I did it at the beginning in front of a mirror, but I did it more in front of a camera.
Right.
And then I would watch it back. But it's again disengagement from your own face, so that it's not reflecting the emotions of the things it's saying.
Yeah.
If you're doing like someone who's really sounding off and really angry, you better not be frowning, or it'll be really obviously you.
When did you sort of because it's sort of that thing of like, when did you know you wanted to be a ventriloquist? I think it's really interesting because it's not cool.
Not
is
cool.
it? Like, no, but do you know what I mean? It's sort of like,
no.
Like a sort of, particularly, there might have been a moment where, I don't know if you wanted to, you're doing philosophy, your dad's an actor, this kind of like, this kind of whole world. And then suddenly you're like, I want to be a ventriloquist. You know what I mean?
I think that's a really
job.
Clean equation you just came up with. My dad's an actor plus philosophy equals ventriloquist.
Okay. Yeah, fine. We solved it.
It might be, those are the ingredients. I think, I wanted to be an actor, but I didn't really believe in myself very much. And I would go to auditions with a kind of written on my head, a kind of, I am needy, give me this, I have no credentials, but my dad's an actor, this stuff that made me go, I'm not going to get it, I'm not here, I'm not like some, I don't know, I just thought it was a little bit of nepotism and stuff, but ventriloquism, there's nothing nepotistic about that. That's like,
unless you put your hand up your dad's ass.
Oh, God! I had to visualise that.
Sorry, but I'm saying that's the only way. That's the only way it would be. Sorry, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Ow! Ow!
Sorry.
Stop! Stop it! You're filling my mind. I'm going to have
had
to
a good
brain
life.
spar quick. Brain
Sorry.
spar. Bring me
Sorry.
the sun on my eyelids.
Sorry.
I got to get away from this
What were we
fisting my
talking
dead
about?
dad.
What were we doing? I
Okay.
didn't fist it. You know, listen. What were we talking about?
Ventriloquism. How does one become a ventriloquist?
Oh yeah, it was a different.
We've now
it was
found
a
out how
different old guy.
one ceases to do it. Who was? Oh,
His
yeah,
name was Ken Campbell.
that's it. Yeah.
He was at RADA with John Cleese, and he went the less travelled path. He went the underground path into weird theatre, discovering old discarded art forms. And he said, "You should be a ventriloquist. What you need, you're like a clown who doesn't want to wear the nose.
Is that what he said? That's interesting.
You should have a monkey." No, he didn't really say you should have a monkey. But he bought me this old horrible doll that was so end of the pier, as like this sort of cheeky chappy kind of wooden thing.
Yeah.
And he said awful things when I put him on. But then I had this monkey in the house, and and lo and behold, his mouth opened, but a tiny, tiny little opening.
Yeah.
So I tried him. I thought maybe if with that monkey I might enjoy this more. And I instantly did. I just like, that's not ventriloquism that's more like the Muppet Show. That's more like kind of things I love.
Yes,
That
yeah.
monkey's got a good face.
Yes.
And I can say things through it. So it was kind of middle of the night actually in my flat on my own when I put that on, and he looked at me. That was when I thought, maybe I could do this. Maybe this is
How old were you then?
more fun. 26 or something.
Wow. Yeah. I love those, but like it's sort of that Charlie Chaplin moment in it where you sort of, you know, in the film where he sees the cane and he sort of sees the moustache and you go, ah. But it's, I think every kind of comic has that moment where they sort of, you sort of feel that first click into, okay, right, got it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Of
Yes,
like, I can vividly, I remember a moment on stage where I sort of, rather than pretending to be a comedian, I was myself and said something funny as me. And you're like, right, cool, got it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's funny.
really
It's really
good,
strange,
really
those
good.
moments. What is the next brilliant thing?
I don't remember.
Go on. What were you going to say?
No, I don't. Well, no, I was going to say, I
said,
just
"I
remember
remember."
a gig with you. It was like you were so new. You'd only done a few gigs. It was at the King's Head downstairs in Crouch End.
Yes.
And somebody said something. You said something. You said, "Does Thing Me know that you've stolen his joke?" I mean, this was an idiot man and you hadn't. But he said something like that. And you looked at him and you said, "Does the owl know that you've stolen his look?"
Oh, did I?
Because he looked like an owl somehow, this guy. You maybe refer. And it was so clean and so fast, and so it's like proved yourself so much that you weren't, you know, some hack that was taking somebody. You just came right back at it, and it was such an electric moment. And I just remember going, "Oh, he's gonna fly."
He's
that
pretty
guy.
good at being horrible to people. It's so funny is that those early days, there was a comedian, is it Kevin McCarran? I think it's one of the most I've ever laughed. The guy used to compare the, what were those gigs that Alex Petty used to run?
Laughing Horse.
Laughing Horse.
Yeah. So it was this great moment where he was emceeing and he goes to this guy in the front row. He goes, "What do you do?" And this guy goes, "Oh, I'm a surveyor, but I'm actually a part-time magician, and I've got a helicopter license." It was like really detailed like that, and he just goes, "Oh, bitch, you like wanking?" Like that, and it was just like, oh my god, it fucking killed me, man.